All right. Welcome back to Cooking with Liz. New camera over top of the stove so we can see what we're actually cooking today. You see me able to cut up, cook, and I'm able to look at the camera and talk to you, and you cook my side view. It's my good side. All right, so today we're going to make cheesy rice, or Doria is what it's called here in Japan. Um, I always just call it cheesy rice when I used to buy it in 7-Eleven. You can buy it right there, warm it up in the microwave for 2 minutes, and it's amazing. But I found this little restaurant in Kamakura, in Kitakamakura to be exact, which is the same city. Kitakamakura is just a different train station. It's a little bit further down the line and a little closer of a walk to the restaurant. But it's called Sakura, and the cook there is amazing. Now, do I hope to be able to achieve what she has with her Doria? No, because this is actually the first time I've ever made it. So bear with me today. We've already started our rice for it. It's a rice-based dish. So we've already started that. We have that in the rice cooker. I didn't want to delay and have to wait and just sit here and talk about everything with the rice having to cook. So we got about 8 minutes on our rice cooker, but we can go ahead and start getting the first part of it done because we're going to take and saute some onions and carrots up. We're going to chop them up finely, and then we're going to add rice and butter to it to start it with. Then we're going to make a cheese sauce with shrimp in it. We'll also saute up some onion and garlic in there, and the shrimp. Make our cheese sauce. Add the shrimp, and pour it all over it. We'll stick it in the oven to finish it off. That's just to really brown the top of it with a little bit of cheese to make it really beautiful in color. The carrots are also going to add nice color to it. So that said, let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and get our oven started. If I can figure out how to turn the thing on. Oh, this button. Sometimes it's a little hard. So we're going to boost our temperature up to about, let's see here, we keep going down. So what I'm looking for is probably, I'm going to do some conversions real quick, because everything here in Japan, of course, is in the metric system, which, me being a U.S. citizen, yeah, we don't use it. So we'll do Celsius to Fahrenheit. And we'll just use a scale real quick. And we're going to want it fairly hot because we want it to cook off fairly quick once we get going. So I'm going to say we probably want it about 400 to 425. So bear with me. So we're going to put in 425. And that's 218 degrees. So we're going to go up to 220. And we'll let it start cooking there. Or start letting our oven preheat. We have our pan in there already. Now I'm just going to set the timer at 90 minutes so that it doesn't turn off on me. Go ahead and turn it on and start preheating. It's a convection oven that I have, so it should go fairly quick. Let's pull the chat back up just in case somebody wants to chat with us. There's the oven kicking on. Next thing we're going to do is get our carrots out. We're also going to add mushrooms to the cheese sauce. So we got carrot. And let's go ahead and use 2 carrots because we're going to peel those first. And we'll get to our onions in a second. So, of course, we need to peel our carrots. So we got our Japanese peeler. As I said in a past broadcast, or my first one, looks a lot like ours, except it goes long ways instead of, it goes horizontal instead of vertical, basically. So we'll quickly peel our carrots. So carrot 1 is peeled. Carrot 2 gets peeled. And we're going to chop them up using our chopper, so we're going to have to cut them into smaller pieces so they don't get stuck on the blades and jam our chopper here. So let me get rid of my plastic, put it in a plastic dish. I don't have a guest tonight to help me out, so I will be leaving the camera from time to time so that I can do this. Cut our ends off. Don't need those. Then again, food waste. Try to keep it out of my sink as much as possible, even though I do have a nifty little drain on this sink that's got a screen to prevent food waste from going down the drain. Put that in there. And as I said, we're going to chop this up into pretty small pieces before we go ahead and put it in there, in our chopper. And I want to even though we're going to chop it up pretty fine, I'm going to start to get the carrots done first. Then we'll do our onions and put everything in some butter to saute. So I hope everybody's had a great day today. Mine has been crazy busy with work and whatnot, but hopefully everybody else has had a great and wonderful day. So we're just going to chop these up so that they go in our chopper nicely, and hopefully they don't cause our chopper to get stopped up, because carrots are a little harder than most things I've chopped in this thing before. So that's plenty of carrots. And we're going to throw that piece out because it just has a little bit of green to it, but that's okay. So we'll go ahead and add those here. I'm not going to add all of them at once. So what I'll do is I'll take what I like to do a lot of times, just take a plastic dish to put them in when I get it done. And we got the fancy pull it. So we finally chop our vegetables. All right, nicely done. This came out really nice. So we'll do both of those just so we have plenty of carrots. It'll add more color, more flavor. And I'm gonna have to push things back just a little bit so I can get in here and push the computer back. There we go. So I picked this up today. Just a regular spatula, made of silicone rubber, I believe, but it's got some really cool color to it. Looks like cake frosting almost. It was actually in the cake section at the Diazo, which again, if you joined me on last stream, is the Japanese equivalent to the American dollar store, but way better products. So we'll chop the rest of our carrots up, then we'll get our onions. Down to a minute left on our rice, so we're doing fine. Great thing about the rice cooker is it's going to keep it nice and correct. So we'll chop the rest of our carrots up. Oh, there goes our rice cooker. And it's already told us it's moved to the, let me get this done first, it's a little noisy. Pulls, clean our top off. Pull our blade out. Blade's very sharp. Set it on our top. And add the rest of our carrots. And that's probably more carrots than I needed, but I'll use what I can for this. And then I'll just put the plastic lid on here and I'll figure out something else to do with them later on. Maybe I'll make some squash or something and throw some carrots in there for some color and flavor. Alright, so nice finely chopped up carrots. Should be able to see them there on the big screen. Set those aside for now, for the moment. And we'll get our onion ready to go. Got some onions up here. Pull 2 of them out because they're fairly small. Oh, wow, we actually have somebody in with us. Dr. Zeppers has joined us. Thank you, Dr. Z. It's a pleasure to have you on board. I've watched many of Dr. Zeppers' streams. He's a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes SWOGO streamer. It's a game I play. I don't stream that game myself, but he was originally my guild leader, and I've been watching his stream for a while now. I've actually just this week subscribed for my 11th month to Dr. Z, which really enjoyed watching and being part of the Dr. Zeppers experience. And Dr. Zeppers has provided me with a lot of support as I've started my streaming journey. And I want to say I greatly appreciate that, Dr. Z. So we're just going to cut our onions up, peel them real quick, and then we'll chop them up just like we did the carrots. And then we'll actually get the cooking process going with them. And since we're going to do, I think we'll do 1 onion in the rice, and then we'll save the other onion for the cheese sauce. And I'll add some garlic to that too. I don't know about you guys, but I like garlic. So onions are a pain in the butt. We'll just get that cleared off of there. And once we get my onions done, get rid of our mess. Oh, the Fi's with him too. Thank you, Fi, for joining. How to cook sushi. Ha 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 ha. So, I love it. How to cook sushi. Well, right there's how we cook sushi, because we're not going to cook the fish, but we do have to cook the rice. Sushi, there's a lot to it. It's the art of cutting it, the art of getting the right fish, and getting fresh fish for sushi. But today we're doing Doria. So we'll chop up our onion. Oh, we left one of them out. Drop that in there too. Put that back in there. Give that a couple of pulls. Now we got some nice finely chopped onions to go in there. Again, we'll scrape our lid so that it goes in there. We'll save that because we're going to need it later. So again, like that. All right, now we got our chopped onion. Still some carrots in there, but that's fine. So now we're going to add some butter to our pan. And we have Hokkaido butter, made here in Japan. And so it actually comes in quite the brick, unlike American. It's still graduated, so we can tell how many grams are in each one. I would assume that it's going to be 20 grams in each line there. So I'm just going to say let's use about that much butter. It's all right because we're going to add our rice to this once we get everything sauteed up. Then start our burner. Get that going. Put our butter back in here. We're going to need it again later on for our cheese sauce that goes with it. So let me say hi to these guys. And we can see our butter starting to melt already. So we're going to grab our spatula, which is already over here. And when we're letting our butter melt up, we're going to grab a chew high. Chew high. This one is peach pine or peach mango flavor. Excellent. Butter's already getting warm. It'll finish off, so let's go ahead and add our carrots to it first. As I said, we're not necessarily going to use all of them. That should be plenty of carrots. And I'll just take and use the rest of these later on. So let me grab a plastic lid. And I'll stick those in the refrigerator for my next dish. All right, put those in there. Stir that up so that start sauteing. And our heat should be about a medium high, which it is. Kick a little bit more up. And we'll go ahead and add our onions too. Now, after this, we're going to start, while this is sauteing up real quick, we're going to start getting our ingredients ready for, we're going to start getting our ingredients ready for the cheese sauce that we're going to make. So there's those onions in there. We just got another onion to go. Stir that up. As finally as we chop this stuff, it shouldn't take too long for it to saute up. Right now it's a good time to add a little bit of salt and pepper. So we'll grind a little bit of salt up. So just about everything I have here, I've actually bought out here in town, except for the salt and pepper. I actually bought that at the commissary on the Navy base here, where I happen to be working presently. Salt and pepper, let that saute for a second. Throw our other onion in here. Stir it up. Whoops, let's put our blade in first, that'll make it a lot easier. Take our onion out, put our blade in. And while we're at it, we're going to add our garlic right in with that for the to go in with the cheese sauce. I guess I could have put some garlic in there too, but I don't think that's really necessary. We're going to have plenty of garlic flavor with this. It's an interesting cloves. Not sure what type they are, but it actually is more like an onion in shape. It's not like your traditional garlic cloves. I have some of that, and we're actually going to use that later on for something else. So chop that real quick. And now we'll chop all of this up together. And we're just going to set that aside for a second. So we'll set that right back there, or right over here, because we're just going to set it aside for a minute. Those are sauteing up nicely. The next step is we're going to add our rice to this mixture so that it gets everything, gives it a nice buttery flavor to the rice. So I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit. And I'm going to get a measuring cup out. Believe it or not, that's a Japanese measuring cup, and it actually has cups on it. Amazing. My rice spoon. Actually, it's got kitty on it. See the kitty on my rice spoon? See? The kitty? So, I've got a couple of cats back home. 3 cats, actually. I know Dr. Z's got some cats, and that's one of the things we like to see on his show. So we're going to measure out 2 cups of rice. It's supposed to be loosely packed. So 2 cups is right that line. That leaves me some rice for later on. That's cool. Stir this up. So that's actually got a really nice color to it. You see those carrots. And we're not going to cook this long because we're not actually trying to make fried rice. We're just We're making a butter rice, basically. Hey, looks like I left my Go Cup in there. Oh well, have to check it next time. Everybody makes mistakes. That's mixed up nicely. Then what we're going to do is we're going to set this aside once we get it mixed up, and then we'll start on our cheese sauce. So we see that it's got some really nice color in our rice. So I think that's getting actually just to be about where we want it. And I said we're going to bake this off too for just a few minutes, so if anything's not quite done, it will finish up. So we're going to turn this heat off, and we're going to start on our cheese sauce. So we're going to set this aside for right now. We'll turn our heat off, set that back on the back burner, move this pan over here. So the pans are a little light, so I got to keep the lid on so it doesn't fall over. It's a pan that was, it's a cheap pan, I'll admit. I also got the pan at Diazo. I'm not living here permanently, so that being said, I'm not investing in high quality pans. So this time it's a little more important to measure our butter out. And I have a little bit left of the American butter. So I got about, and I only need about 2 tablespoons of the butter. So because I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of flour and a cup of milk to make the cheese sauce. So what we're going to do is, then we're going to add 2 cups of cheese. So what I want to do right now is I want to take and measure out my cheese before we really get started. And the reason for that is that cup's going to get used for milk next. And I want to have everything prepared. So this is the cheese I have. It says melty cheese there. I used my phone to translate it. So I'm just going to use my knife. Oop. Is that Jeppy? No. So I'm just going to use my knife to open this up. And we're going to add 2 cups of cheese into here. And then we'll set it in that bowl and set that aside too. And we'll take some of this cheese. We're also going to sprinkle on top before we stick our Doria in the oven. So we're just going to set that aside back there. Put that right in there. And we'll set that over here. Got this huge sink, which is fine. All right, so now let's get our flour down. We're going to need flour. Let's get that open too. It's brand new. Again, with the flour, I took and had to use the phone translator to get it right. Excuse me, got to get rid of my plastic. As we've talked about before, plastic has to go in separate containers. So we got our onions. You know what we haven't done yet? We haven't cut up our mushrooms. So let's cut up our mushrooms. This is again, I'm not sure what type of mushrooms these are. I just experiment with different mushrooms here in Japan. They have so many different types. But like anything, I want to rinse them before we cut them up to make sure that there's nothing on them. I really don't have too much of a worry here in Japan. They are very good about having clean produce and everything, but that doesn't change the fact that I want to make sure it's clean. So, if there's any questions about what I'm doing, please feel free to ask. This is my second stream, so still kind of new to this. I think the next thing I'm going to do is try to figure out how to use the Twitch music service that everybody seems to use, so we can have just a little bit of background music while we're doing this that may add something to it. Now the mushrooms, I'm not going to cut up I'm not going to chop them up like I do the onions and everything, because I actually want good sized pieces of uh, of mushrooms in there. Oh, you know what else we forgot to do? We have to cook our shrimp off real quick. The thing about shrimp is it cooks really quick. And so as soon as I get the mushrooms chopped up a little bit, we'll actually saute our shrimp. That will go in this too, and then we'll just set that aside. And we'll use this pan here to saute it in, because I don't have another fry pan, or saute pan, or whatever you want to call it. So we got our mushrooms chopped up. I like to have pieces of mushrooms that I can see and taste. I like mushrooms. So my shrimp, you don't need a whole lot of shrimp. I actually bought this shrimp frozen, so it shouldn't take too long. It's already peeled, deveined, everything. So we're gonna add a little bit of butter. We'll add about a tablespoon of butter here. See our measurements, boom. We're gonna add about a tablespoon of butter to this and just cook our shrimp real quick. And then we'll add that to our we'll put that in one of our, this is what we're actually going to make our Doria in. So we'll just add our shrimp to that when the pan got hot fast. So we're just going to dump our shrimp in there. There's a little bit of water in there, and that's all right. Just want to cook it off fairly quick. Looks like we had something burn in the pan there. It was a shrimp or whatever, but that's all right. So shrimp's going to cook up fairly quick, but that's just enough weight to add to our, or to keep our pan stable. Shut our door. Where's our chuhai at? Excuse me. So this pan's probably not going to be the greatest pan to make this in, but it's what I have. And actually, you know what? We're going to use another pan for it. I have one other pan I think will actually be more stable. And maybe it's a little thicker. I don't know. It seems not to be, but we'll use this pan to make our cheese sauce in. Put our glass lids over here. We use that pan to make our cheese sauce in so we can just hold our shrimp in here. So the shrimp is cooking fairly quick. So let's go ahead and get that started. So I said we're going to use 2 tablespoons of butter in this pan. So let's go ahead and get this one started. And let's turn that heat down because we don't want this too high. And once that butter starts to melt, we'll add our garlic and onions and our mushrooms. And once we do that, we will add our flour. And then we're going to add 1 cup of milk, so we can go ahead and measure that out right now. That way we're ready to add that when everything comes together. I'm not sure what's up with this pan. Seems to be burning a little bit on the edges, but that's all right. As I said, it's a cheap pan. But our shrimp's looking good and sauteed. Don't want to overcook the shrimp. It's starting to turn nice and the pink color we're looking for when our shrimp is done. It's going to be fun to scrub this pan out. That's all right. I paid for this pan, so I can throw this pan away without any worries. Turn it way down. And let's turn some more ventilation on. Shrimp actually looks pretty good. So now that we got that going, we can add our
onions and garlic over here to saute that, get that started. And then we'll put our mushrooms in there too. And the flour, we're going to add flour to it. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour so that the cheese sauce will thicken. So scrape, scrape, scrape. Whoa, that was a close one, wasn't it? That's why I should keep my pan facing back that way. I'm going to rinse this out real quick because I have another plan for it in a few minutes once we get our Doria put together. Now we're going to add our mushrooms. 2. And get all that stuff sauteed up nicely. I'm going to have to add a little more heat here. Ah, wrong one. That was the grill one. There we go. Now we got the heat coming up. Now we got the heat coming up. Cooking with fire now. And we're going to shut that one off just because our shrimp looks good. Like I said, this is the first time I make this. I'm making it live for the first time, so it's always a little bit fun. So I'd originally planned on making a garlic butter or a garlic lemon and honey salmon tonight for a good friend of mine that lives here in Japan. He's a Japanese citizen, but unfortunately he had a death in the family, and his parents had to travel, and he couldn't make it tonight because he has to stay home with his 98-year-old grandfather. So, which, perfectly understandable. Perfectly understandable having to stay home with Gramps. So that's looking pretty good. Just keep it turning around there so it's not burning in our pan. Even though our pan is showing signs of burning. Again, I think these pans cost between $1 or $2. So if I mess it up, it's not that big of a deal. I know where he got it. He got it the same place. And when I say he, the owner of this building that has provided me with this room is a friend of mine. Let me turn that back down. So he just opened this building. It's a brand new building here in Yokosuka. And I was actually the 30th guest to stay here. I'm making you hungry, Dr. Z? That's good. Unfortunately, it's pretty late back home. Dr. Z and I are not from the same city, but we do live in the same state and the same time zone. So we're going to slowly add our milk because we don't want to burn our milk. So we turn the heat down a little bit. You know what? I messed up. I totally messed up. I should not have added my milk first. I'm going to stop right now. Should just start over. Supposed to add my flour first and that. So I may have really messed this up. But that's okay. That's okay. We all make mistakes, right? I'm sure I can salvage it. My 2 tablespoons of butter in there. Not trying to burn the butter anyway, or burn the flour anyways. So might be a little bit lumpy with the flour, but I think it'll all work out in the end. Probably, at least, hopefully. So you can see it's really thickened up in there with the flour I added. A lot thicker than what I wanted at this point, or not really, because as I said, I should have added my flour first before I started adding my milk. actually glad I'm caught myself because it really would have screwed it up had I not caught it. But I think I caught it with just enough that it's not going to hurt anything. So you can see our flour mixture, there's going to be a little bit of lumps. But hey, it okay. So before we burn anything else, let's start adding our milk slowly. So that'll mix in there. Yeah, I think we're going to be all right. I think I caught myself in just enough time to make everything okay. Whew, lucky me. So this would actually be easier if I had a wooden spoon, which I will go ahead and get next time before I do my next show, which will probably be this weekend. And I'll try not to jump on anybody else's stream, or, you know, when they're streaming is what I should say, as far as Dr. Z TV network goes. So yeah, I think we're going to be all right. As you can see, it's coming around. I didn't put too much milk in there, so I should be okay. But I want to keep stirring because I don't want to burn my milk. Set that cup over there. And now we're going to bring this up in heat. So a wooden spoon would be easier. If you're just making cheese sauce, which is without all the goodies in here, the onions, the garlic, the mushrooms, you would use a whisk to make sure that everything gets mixed in there nicely. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and switch to the whisk right now. Probably that may make it a little less lumpy anyways. Just set that there. Yeah, we can whisk this out. So again, we may have some lumps, but I'm eating it myself for me, so it should be okay. But you know what? Cooking is about learning, about having fun, and making yourself something enjoyable to eat. All right. Our cheese sauce it's actually looking good. It's starting to thicken up. We can see the milk is starting to heat up. We can see the steam coming off it. I can feel it thickening up as I'm stirring it. So as I said, I want to keep stirring it because I don't want it to burn. I don't want it to scald. And I'm not trying to bring it necessarily quite to a boil. I just want it to start thickening up. And then I'm going to add my cheese here very shortly. Oop, you know what else I need to add? I need to add my shrimp. Forgot about that. Let's add our shrimp. Add our shrimp in there. Get rid of that pan. I'll add our shrimp. So now we're going to have all this stuff in here together. And yeah, that's looking good. I think it's about time we go ahead and add our cheese. So let's add our cheese slowly so that it melts nicely. So that's another advantage of putting it in the bowl there, so I can control how fast my cheese is going in. As we can see, it's melting up nicely. Yeah, that cheese is melting nicely. Add a little bit more. Add the rest of it. And keep stirring. See, it's getting a little stringy, but that's all right. And now, as it finishes off here, I'm not seeing any cheese that's not melted. That was a piece there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and turn my heat off. So my heat's off. Give another quick stir. All right. Now comes the part we've been waiting for. We got our, what did we do with our glass pan? Oh, it's right here. We threw stuff in it. So let's grab the other one. Got two of these. I found these at a place called Homes. It's kind of like a Home Depot, but not really. So they're really nice. I mean, they're about the size for a single person casserole pretty easily. And I think we just got just about enough rice there for one anyways. So we add our rice in there. I probably could have added more rice to my rice butter, but that's okay. It's okay. Next time we know we can add more. And we're just going to smooth it out of there a little bit. And now we're going to add our cheese sauce right on top of it. So just like that, we're going to add our cheese sauce. And it looks like I probably could have done a little more rice, so I could have made two of these. So we'll scrape our cheese sauce out. Yeah, we burned the pan a little bit, but that's all right. As I said, cheap pans. Better pans, well, this wouldn't have happened with. These pans are really thin. I said, I think he paid, I know I paid like maybe 100, maybe 200 yen for my pen, the one I bought. And 200 yen equates to less than $2. Just add some water to this stuff so it makes it easier to clean up. And then we're going to stick our Doria in the oven. Should help make it a little easier there. We want to add more cheese to the top of it. I forgot that. Add some cheese right to the top of it. Probably could have made my cheese sauce a little thinner, maybe added a little bit more milk, and that would have maybe allowed it to seep through our rice better. But I think it's going to be pretty good here. As I said, cheesy rice. So we have some extra cheese. We'll stick that back in the refrigerator. Now everything's already cooked in here. We just want to get add to the coloring, to melt our cheese, make it bubble up along the sides. Oh, Japanese pan holder for oven. So I just reach in there, I can pull my pan out and I can actually lift it up. So I'm gonna use it to hold the pan right there while I stick this in the oven, and then it should slide easily back into the oven. And that's how we'll get it back out too. So let's give it about 10 minutes, I would say. So our oven timer, so it's 17:44 right now. So I'm going to use my watch to set a timer. That's stopwatch, isn't it? Yep. No. Oops. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. Why worry about it? I just asked Siri to do it. Siri's counting down. All right. Now we're going to start. We're not going to do a whole lot of cleanup. We could. But as I mentioned earlier, I was planning on making what I do with my chopper body. Okay, where did it go? Oh, more chuhai. Time for more chuhai while I look for it real quick. I know I rinsed it out. Did not set it in here. It's not there. Oh, it's right here. Duh. So, what I'm going to make next is going to be for the next time I stream, which will be wrong garlic, which will be the salmon, honey, lemon, garlic. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make fermented honey garlic right now. So I'm going to break these cloves up. And oh my goodness, this thing's peeled nicely. So I'm just going to, wow, that peels better than American garlic. Again, it's another garlic I found. Not sure exactly what type it is, but we're just going to put a whole clove in here and chop it up. And then I have some fresh raw honey that I picked up today. And we're going to put it all in a jar and set it aside. So we're getting a twofer today. You're getting the Doria, which is in our oven right now. And we're getting the garlic fermented in honey. I've never made this either before. When I was talking to a friend of mine about the fact that I was going to make the salmon, or actually I did make the salmon once already, and that I was going to make it again, which, as I said, unfortunately was scheduled for tonight, but my friend is busy taking care of his grandfather, which is perfectly understandable. It's difficult to justify leaving a 98-year-old at home alone just so you can go out for a meal. I know his I've never met his grandfather. I've always wanted to. His grandfather was a Christian preacher here in Japan, Christian minister, and was involved in a lot of the post-war reconstruction and stuff like that. I mean, he's 98 years old, so you can imagine he was, you know, in his 20s when the war ended. So he was definitely of age that he could have found himself in a lot worse procurements than what he was. I mean, that age group suffered a lot on both sides, on all sides. So we're going to take and add all of this stuff in here, and then we're going to chop it up. Oop, that's a bad piece, so we're going to cut more of it off. Throw it in there. This is an interesting garlic, though. I really smell it. It's very fragrant. Large pieces. So once we get it chopped up, I have a sealing jar that seals, again, that I bought at the Daiso. Dr. Zeppers, I probably have some of those in the LA area. I know we have some down in San Diego County. So, you know, they've got a lot of really neat stuff at very inexpensive prices. As a matter of fact, you know, my webcam that I have, I didn't buy that there, but I did. It's still not a very expensive one. But what I did do is I actually bought a plastic clip to hold it on the fan so that it would look down on the cooking surface and my prep area here. And it seems to be working out pretty well. Looks like I'm getting good feed from it still. Of course, there's not a whole lot to see cooking right now. Oop, another bad piece. So let's cut more of that one off. This one's coming off. It's all right, that happens. So now that we got that done, let's see, how much time do we have? Oop, wrong button. We have about 4 minutes until our Doria should be done. I'm actually going to peek at it real quick to see what it looks like. We may need to go a little bit longer. Maybe we can kick that temperature up just a little bit. Kick the temperature up. Because it looks like the cheese is melted, but it hasn't started bubbling yet like I was looking for. So now we're going to chop our garlic up. Give that a few more pulls. Oh yeah. Nicely fine chopped garlic. And we need we're going to use a different scraper this time. We have this one. This one's a little more solid. Don't know that I dislike it, but it's not really what I'm used to. Oh, that garlic is fragrant. That's some smelly garlic. Some smelly garlic. It's all right. Yeah, I'm not going to set that in there because I like to know where my sharps are at. Set that over there. So this is the jar I bought. And we're going to put all our garlic in here. So this jar does seal, but I can also leave it partially opened so that as our garlic ferments in our honey, it doesn't cause an explosion, which would be bad. And plus, it's a pretty thick jar, so I doubt that would happen, but we're not going to take any chances. And so we're going to scrape, scrape, scrape. Scrape our garlic into there. And this is actually really easy to make. I think it'd be really good on the salmon I'm going to make here either Saturday or next Wednesday. I think it would be really good on maybe some carrots, some roasted carrots with it on there as your glaze. So this is 1 kilogram of honey, and we're just going to add the honey. You know, I'm not squeezing it. Bump that. We're just going to pour our honey in here. And we're going to leave a little bit of headroom. And make a mess, but we'll clean that up later. All right. Now, I'm going to close it up. And I'm just going to try to get it to mix up a little bit. All right, it doesn't want to. So, that's all right. I have this. I can mix it up so that it's all mixed up in there. Oops, whoops, 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 whoops. We're making a mess, making a mess. Hey, making a mess with Lizzie. We'll call that the next show. And now we got some of the air out of that garlic. Once we stirred it up, we're going to add a little more honey. Oops, our 10 minutes are up, so we're going to check that again. Clean off that. Clean off that and our sealing surface. And we're going to go ahead and seal this up. And we're going to rinse that, or we're going to wipe the jar down in a second. But basically, we're just going to let that garlic sit in there and ferment. And see how it comes out, and we'll use that for our glaze. Now let's see what our Doria looks like. All right, so we still need to put some more heat on that for a few more minutes. So let's kick that temperature up a little bit more. It's 270. And in the meantime, we can start some cleanup here. Alrighty. That can stay out. The honey, that's pretty dry for honey, so we can put that up there. We can drink some more too. So, what I want to do is let's get some warm water going. And we'll wipe our honey jar down so that we don't have any stickies on it. That's good there. So we're going to stick that up there for right now, just because it's out of the way. And now we can actually start cleaning up, because that's the part that always is the worst part about cooking, I think, that most people dislike the most, is the cleanup. The good news is a lot of my stuff here can just go straight into my dishwasher. It's just fortunate to have, very fortunate to have in Japan. So we'll just start putting stuff in the dishwasher that'll go. We're going to take that rack out for the moment. Figure out what to do with that glass. We'll stick it over here in the plate section. I don't have any plates. Since we got this dirty, stick that in there. Yeah, it'll be all right. We'll put our lids over here. So that can go in the dishwasher. That can go in the rack. These can go in the dishwasher. Dishwasher. And that's about what I can fit in my dishwasher if I want to try to get my rack back in here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that. Nope, not with that in there like that, but I think maybe now. Yeah, we got the rack back in there, so now I can, let's rinse this off. This butter will be fine. Stick these in here in my rack. Stick my blades in there. A spoon that can go in there. This can go in there. Going this way. This can go in there. And so basically, now all we have left to clean up is stuff that doesn't go in the dishwasher. So let's go ahead and get the dishwasher started. Drop some soap in. Push the button. Start the dishwasher. And let's look at the Doria again. Okay, it's coming. It's taking longer than it should. And the oven's definitely hot. So we'll see what happens with it. So unfortunately, the other downside of this oven is all the instructions for it are in Japanese. And my phone only translates so well. So yeah, we did burn our pan up a little bit, but oh well. It's not going to hurt anything. Let's get as clean as we can. We've got some burn marks in it, some scorching. I'll get a scrub pad to get some Scotch-Brite. Polish that right on out later on. Set that up there. Dish soap. Yes, sir. We can just polish that right on out. So, not too much with these, but still wash them off. Just throw them up there like that. My Go cup. I'm going to rinse this off. So This doesn't go in the dishwasher because it's got that cord on it, and I don't want to put that in the dishwasher. Knife didn't get used. There it is. As you can see, all my food stuff is being collected right in here. We'll rinse the sink out. We got one more pan to wash, and then we can start wiping things down. The last pan. And hey, really the worst part of cooking is over. My least favorite part, I shouldn't say worst part, but my least favorite part is the cleanup. And it's almost over. So there's my nice catch for my food stuff. So I can just dump it over here. Boom, that goes there. The soap goes back over here. Now we wipe down our countertop. Wipe down our stove area. I'm just going to wipe everything right into the sink because I have that nice little catch there so that nothing goes down the drain. Ooh. Right over there. We're going to leave our rice on because we may eat some of that later. And we'll take care of that later anyways. We'll put that up so we can eat it later on. Rice is always a great snack. I can always do other things with the rice too. And boom. There we go. We have a clean kitchen again. Ready for next time. Look at that. So, as I said, this place is really cool. He's so proud of it, and he should be. He should be really proud of this place, the guy that built it. This is the towel she gave us. All of our towels have "Welcome to Giordano Lodge, Yokosuka, Japan." So if you're going to come to Yokosuka, Japan, you're going to stay for a month or so or a couple of weeks, contact Walter at Giordano Lodge about a place to stay. You can see I got room enough in here to do a cooking show. A cooking show in a quote-unquote hotel. Props to you, Walter. Let's see what we're looking like in here. Oh yeah, now we're starting to bubble. It's only going to be about just a couple more minutes and we're going to be through with our Doria. It's actually looking really good. I'm starting to see some of the cheese starting to brown up, which is what we're looking for. So again, Chuhai, 9% alcohol, made by Curran Beer, Curran Brewery. Chuhai is a typical Japanese drink. It's probably actually comparable to, I hate to say it, White Claw or something like that in the States. But over here, they have pretty good flavors to it. A lot of them are lemon, orange, stuff like that. Those aren't my favorites, but I do like the peach mango. Peach mango has a nice flavor to it, and it's actually really good. Oh, this is cute. I picked this up at the ISO. This is put this in when I'm making my eggs, and it tells me if they're soft, medium, or hard. That way you're not overcooking your eggs. But everybody that stayed with me through the chat and through the show and joined me, I greatly appreciate it. Unfortunately, we're almost done, and I do appreciate it so much. It means so much to me. The fact that you guys stayed with me, especially you, Dr. Z. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Domo seimase arigatou gozaimasu. That's the most formal thank you I can give you. It means thank you so much for going out of your way to help me out. Domo seimase arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much, Dr. Z. And in just a few minutes, we're going to pull our food out, and we'll do the final shots. And I will hang out for a few minutes, let it cool for a second, so I can put it on a plate and taste it, because I'm excited about this. Let me check it again. It was getting pretty close. You know what? Just a couple more minutes. And we'll be good. It's starting to brown up on top. I don't want to get too brown, but I want some of it to be brown. I don't think it went too bad. Made a couple of mistakes there, but we did all right. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I do need some help. As I said, this is my second time working with OBS on a live stream. So, yes, I really will appreciate it. Originally, things were showing up on here and there. I guess maybe they're not. I don't know. I'm sorry, no awkward silence. I apologize. That's another thing that'd be great is to get the Discord set up so that I can have you on like we do on your show. But again, I'm a novice. I'm learning. I'm sure you had your technical difficulties when you first started. You are a lot more. I think you're a lot smarter at the computers than I am. I mean, honestly, I'm just a dumb shipyard worker. Just a dumb shipyard worker. Okay, not a dumb shipyard worker, a pretty smart shipyard worker. But that's what I do for real life is work in the shipyards. So this is all new to me. Working with computers, past using the basics is not something I've ever done. So give me a second here and we'll pull this out because I think we're good. Oh yeah, we're getting good to go here. Oh, yes. That actually does look pretty good. I maybe could have gone a few more minutes with it, but that actually looks pretty darn good. As I said, I probably could have gone a few more minutes, but we're going to call it good because I'm hungry. You guys have been patient and bared with me through this awkward process today. I shouldn't say awkward. It hasn't been bad at all. So we're going to let that cool for a second while we get a plate ready. And we're going to enjoy. I don't remember where I put my plates. I don't live here. Well, I do. Plate. Get a spoon. And an oven mitt. And a serving spoon. And it doesn't look too bad. I think I could have gone a few more minutes in the oven, but as I said, I'm hungry, so I don't need the oven mitt, I don't think. Oh yeah, we could have gone a few more minutes in it. Could have added more rice, but yeah, look at that. It's not perfect, but I'm not going to be upset with it. And I'm pretty sure that it will, as it cools, it'll thicken up. But hey, I'll be able to take this to work for the rest of the week and brag about the fact that I made this myself on stream with some good friends. So let's give it a taste. And eat it with a spoon. This is cheesy. When I go to the restaurant, when I go to Sakura's, they actually serve it in the plate that she bakes it in. So always eating it with a spoon. Mix it up a little bit. Get that rice in there with the cheese. Like I said, I probably could have left this in the oven for a few more minutes, giving it a little more color on top. But I'm happy with it. Don't want to burn myself now, so I'm going to blow on it. And we'll put it over there so people can see it. Wasn't the best presentation that it could have been, but this is delicious. I wish I really wish I could give you all a bite to this right now, because this is good. Got some work to do to perfect my recipe, but this came out pretty good. Oh yeah. Well, again, yes, it is. It is. It's actually only my second stream. I mean, I've done some other ones when I was a few years ago on Facebook, but then I took and put them on YouTube, and I got to edit them first so I could, mess things around a little bit and all that. But yes, I'm very new at this, and I greatly appreciate your offers to help. Domo sense arigato gozaimasu. The problem is I don't know who to raid. I don't even know how to raid. Something else you're going to have to teach me. So let me see if we can figure that out. Let me see which one's going to be this one. Oop. There's the computer, so I can kind of stay there. We'll tighten that up. Don't want to lose it. We can zoom back out. And that means I got to find somebody to raid. Okay. In chat's the easiest way. Type /raid Twitch name. All right. Cool. Thank you guys. Let me find somebody real quick. Let me go over here and find somebody. Whoops, wrong button. Wrong one again. Let's see here. Let's go to food and drink, live channels. And I don't want to read anybody that's too big. Well, these guys all got lots and lots of viewers. Here's one. She's oh no, I don't. That's German. We don't want to do that one. That's me. 7 viewers. Wow, you guys are amazing. Let's see here. See if I can pick one out that I like real quick. It looks good. Actually, that doesn't look too bad on there, the cheesy rice. Let's go to... This dude only has 3 viewers. Looks like he's enjoying a plating session, enjoying his meal, so we probably shouldn't do that one. Let's check out this dude. I mean, you guys, I know a lot of the Dr. Z people are enjoy drinking, so should we go to My Bar Life? Work. That's one we could do. We're not doing the Russian one. Let's see, huh? Oh, you know what? I don't care if she has 42 viewers and she's way above me. And she's eating too, so that one's about done. We're going to go to Hungry. It's in English. The name of the stream is Hungry, so let's see if I can raid this guy. He looks like he's having some fun cooking. So, we're going to do... All right, we can do Sandflies. Is it welcome to Sandflies? See, that's Swogo. I'll send you over to Sandflies. Yep. I've been on his, so let's see. Oh, Mulamu, you're here too. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys are so wonderful. All right. So we do /RAID and do the space, I take it. Welcome to Sand flies. And then hit enter. All right. Right. I think we're going over there right now. Let me pop in there myself.
3432, Josh, Kellen, Drake, so 3361, DJ's other original count. And as in, we're just reviewing. Alcor, got Mike in here, got Keener Vi, okay, Ace, I don't know who Ace is. Not sure is not sure. We're not sure who not sure is, I think it's not sure. We have Flash Aldrin, Hot Dog, Nikki Pyro, Pyrotech Nicholas.
Do we get there?
His wife, Inferno Helix, we learned that last time. Some guy is...
Or did I do something wrong?
Oh, which one's some guy? What are you doing? Are you not on this? I know you're just chilling. I know you're here. You're doing God's work on your thing. Okay, so could we get B cubed?
All right, let's try it again then.
That would be a moment for the ages if we could get B cubed. Anyway, you don't want to check over to. We don't need to check anything else. Right. Back into GAC this. We're gonna need more coke in that. That's absolutely brutal. It's a brutal pour.
Welcome
I don't want to take that.
to
I'll take the things off. Anyway,
Sand
right,
Flies.
jumping back into current right. Okay. Like an absolute genius. Some of the modding I've done. Some of the TMs.
Oh, we got it. We did it.
Okay. Just see. Is it Junko's coming in? Lizzie Junko. Look at Lizzie. Look at Lizzie. Lizzie's doing. Oh my god. Hi. Hey, everyone be nice. Everyone be nice. Look at Lizzie. How are you? Yeah, beat it. 100%. Welcome in the five. Look at Lizzie. How the hell are you? How was the stream? Okay, we need to go to Lizzie Junko's stream and see what was going on. We will snoop. Let me privately snoop over here. Sorry, I'm snooping now at Lizzie Junko's stream. Everyone just had a calm. Normal.
Mm.
Food and drink.
Mm.